crazy. I'm loving it, living the American life, trying to do it. It's crazy, you know. So I had to learn how to drive out here, which was fun. To get a car, obviously, which I just almost couldn't get. You have to fill out forms, and then they want your credits. And in America, credits is very important. I don't understand the concept. I'm in the car dealership, and there's this Asian gentleman helping me. We're going through the forms, and he says, "So how long have you lived in America for?" I said, I haven't lived here for long. He said, "Oh, this not good for you. This not good for you." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "No, you cannot lease car in America unless you've been here a long time, because then you don't have credit, okay? You don't." I said, "Well, I've got the money to pay for it." He said, "Yeah, that's not the point, okay? That's not the point. In America, okay, in this country, we want credit, okay? Our country focus on credit. If you got good credit, you can buy anything. We don't care about money. We want credit." I said, "Well, credit is the assumption that you can pay back the money." He's like, no, that don't count here, okay? In our country, you have good credit, you can buy anything, okay? You got good credit. He's like, our country. And I was like, look, I hate to be rude, but when you say our country, do you mean our because you live here now, or our because the Chinese own it? And he was like, it's a bit of both, okay? Yeah, but no credit for you, no car. Okay, goodbye. I had to just buy myself a car, you know, this horrible thing, drive around. And that's the worst thing, driving in America, wow. On the other side of the road, you feel like a rebel, you know, until you see the other cars coming, and then it's not so much fun. You know how many times I did that, just going to the wrong side? And don't trust movies. It's not easy to do that whole thing. No, people don't just drive, and no, they stop. They just look at you and go, "What are you doing?" In the movies, you drive past. "What are you doing?" Aren't you supposed to know? They don't drive. They just wait for you to turn around. And the street is so small. You're doing one of those turns, just watching them in your shame, just like it's horrible. I had to practice for months. It was the worst. I remember I drove into a street once. I thought I'd learned. It had been months. I'd been doing it well. And then I turned into the wrong way. And I saw this little old Asian lady driving towards me. And I was like, "No!" And there was nobody else. So I swerved the car around. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Yeah! Hero!" And I drove, and there were 50 cars coming this way. And I was like, "You bitch!" And I told my friend the story. I told him this. I was like, "Oh, this is what happened." And he was like, "Oh, that's so funny, man. That's so funny." And he's like, "Who was driving the car?" I said, "A little old Asian lady." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, you can't say that, man. You can't. You can't say that." I said, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, you can't say she's Asian." I said, "Why not?" He's like, "Yeah, because that's racist." I said, "What, that she's Asian?" He's like, nah, if she's a bad driver and you say she's Asian, that's racist. So I said, "So let me get this straight. Asians are not allowed to be called bad drivers? Is this not racism in itself? Everyone else is allowed the world of bad drivers. But if I'm driving on the freeway behind an Asian person and they're swerving around, and I go, 'This bad driver, you drive like crap.' And I pull up next to them, I'm like, 'Oh, no, sorry. You're not a bad driver. You're just Asian. I'm sorry.'" Or racism in itself? It's madness. So now what I had to do was get around using a GPS, you know? Decided to get one of those. First, I tried to be a cheapskate. I thought, "Oh, get a phone with a GPS." That was a horrible mistake. Bought myself one of those iPhones with Siri. Oh, your assistant, she talks to you. She listens to you. If you're American, she doesn't understand one word I say. I don't understand why. I speak English, and they're talking to her. Doom, doom. She's like, "What do you need?" I'm like, "Siri, please call Peter." "You want pizza?" No, cancel. "Siri, I need pizza." "You want pizza?" "No, Siri, I want pizza, not pizza." "You want pizza?" No, Siri, what's going on here?" "You want to, Peter, Siri, Peter, Siri. You're not making sense. Siri, are you having an attitude with me? You tell me. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Siri, just listen to me. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Siri, just, bitch. Dialing mom. What the hell? This is horrible. I had to buckle down and buy myself a real GPS to get me around, which has been working like a charm. If you don't have a GPS, you get yourself one. It's the best thing you'll ever do. Just don't make the mistake I made and buy it from Craigslist. I bought one off Craigslist, and the guy who sold it to me didn't tell me that it was a Spanish language GPS, which was not so good. I didn't understand anything she says. Look, I still get around because the arrows are in English, thank God. But otherwise, it was just horrible. And I hated it the first few days, and then I fell in love with her. She's just, I don't understand why more Americans don't speak Spanish. It's such a sexy language. And sitting there, and like all the men in here, you want to feel like a man. You get yourself a Spanish GPS. Oh no, you don't understand. Traffic never sounded sexier. It's just like, I just punch in random destinations and she guides me around. She's like, dun dun. Sigue toco de que para conocí. En 200 metros sería la de la cha. And I'm just like, oh shucks, Tom Tom. You say that all the time. This is sexy, She just guides me around. It's beautiful. I love that. I'm going to learn Spanish because of that. Spanish has gone up my list. I had a few languages in Spanish. Spanish was like 6th language. I spoke 4 languages in South Africa. And then the 5th language was going to be Japanese. And then Spanish but now Spanish has gone up. Japanese I've had to pause because of the earthquake. There's not that many of them traveling now. So it's sad. There's no one now. Just like walk around the streets, just, But Spanish has gone up. Because I was getting good at Japanese, don't get me wrong. I was getting really good. I could say, and it's a great language. It's powerful. Because you speak Japanese from your chest. It makes you feel strong. Hey there. Yeah. Very strong. Whereas English you speak from the head and the chest. Do you know what I mean? You speak it head and chest. You wouldn't know this. You wouldn't know this if you listen to many coastal girls in America. Like I've been in places like California where women insist on speaking English from their nose, which is not the correct. Yeah, like, oh my God, are you guys gonna like do this? And I was like there with Tiffany and we were talking, and that's not the right way. You're not using your lungs. I know this because when I choked her, she sounded exactly the same. Then she's like, oh my God, you're like totally choking me right now, and I can't breathe, and this is so not on. I am so gonna tweet about this. This is like the worst thing ever. Oh, I am so dying. OMG. It's horrible. Whereas Japanese is strong. Japanese, you speak from the chest, A lot of the Americans are learning Chinese, I've seen. Chinese, I see people say, you gotta learn Chinese. They're taking over. Chinese. Ni hao ma. Shi xing ni. Chinese. It's too late. It's too late to learn Chinese. It's over. No, it's true. It's true. Because it's also one of the hardest languages in the world. I mean, how do you learn Chinese now? Just, they've got over 10,000 characters in the alphabet. You know this? 10,000 characters. We've got 26 in English. And there's still people going, what comes after Q? 26. This is, 10,000 they've got. That's super smart. Although they must have the worst Sesame Street in the world. It must suck being a Muppet in that country. I can just see them on a Monday morning singing to the kids. 5 years later. It's just horrible. Horrible. Japanese is easier. 3,000 characters and a stronger language. Hey there. I mean, everything in Japanese is strong. Even the greeting. Konnichiwa. Power. Thank you. Domo. Arigato. Power. Yes, it's a great language. You can say other things as well, like kujire gambare, which means good luck, dolphin. Granted, not very usable in everyday language, but it works, I guess, it works. I could also say other things like, niwa torigaita, which means, look, the chickens are running around. You laugh, but I've used this successfully on many occasions. By many occasions, I mean once. I was in an airport, standing at the baggage carousel, and this Japanese guy came and he stood next to me. And we're standing there, and I look at him, and I've been waiting for years to speak Japanese. I was super excited. I was like, what? This guy's Japanese. And he's like, I can hear you. Oh, sorry, I thought I was thinking. Are you Japanese? He's like, yes, I'm a Japanese. I'm like, oh, konnichiwa. He's like, oh, konnichiwa. Pleasure to meet you. I said, oh, domo arigato. I said, oh, arigato gozaimashita. You speak very good Japanese. I was like, oh yeah. So I looked over and I went, Kujire gambare. I'm not a dolphin. But thank you for the good luck. I was like, I can't believe this works. I looked over, I was like, oh, niwa, torigaita. He was like, I don't see the chicken everywhere. You speak a very strange Japanese. Where did you learn? I said, I learned in all different places, all over my life. Why do you speak English with a Japanese accent now? I don't know. I get carried away. You freaking me out. I'm freaking out too. You guys have been so much fun, man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming to the show. The term immigration just depends on your timeline, right? So you're an immigrant. When do you measure from? Everyone is an immigrant from somewhere. Whenever I see people have those conversations in America, you know, about these damn immigrants, they're coming over here, these damn immigrants, get out of here, you immigrants. I always wonder what Native Americans must be thinking when they're listening to the words that are being said. You know? People confidently saying, this is not where they came from, this is not their land. And they're like, oh, tell me more, tell me more. They need to go back because this is not their home. Oh, really? Everyone is an immigrant in some way. You know? When you travel, you see this. I say that to people. That's why I always say to people, I go, travel the world. If there's one thing you will never waste your money on, it's traveling. Travel the world. See another place. Discover a different point of view. Traveling is the antidote to ignorance. And that's so true. It changes your mind, your perspective, how you believe, what you believe. And you know one of the greatest things you can do when you travel, one of the greatest things you can do is traveling to a country where they don't speak your language. That's probably my favorite thing. Going to a place where they don't speak English just to make you realize how insignificant you really are. You're not the center of the universe. There's another world that exists beyond you. I try and do that all the time. I try my utmost. I go to English-speaking countries, but I try every now and again to go to a country where they speak no English, you know? Like recently, I went to Scotland, right? And again, I had an amazing time. The place was beautiful. It was a different culture, rich in history. They have the rolling highlands of Scotland. You know, they've got these castles, beautiful, perfectly preserved, hundreds of years old. In the streets, there's the men playing the bagpipes, wearing the kilts. No black people. But not in a bad way, not in a bad way. Just in a matter-of-fact way, you know? Like when I say that there's no black people in Scotland, I just mean there's no black people. But not like there's a good way and there's a bad. Like the good way is when you get there and you're like, there's no black people. You know what I mean? But then there's some places you go and you're like, there's no black people. And that's when you know what I mean? That means some shit went down. You can feel it when you get there. Like Australia, there's no Aborigines. And when you get there, you're like, hey, Australia! You're like, wait, where's all the black people? And they're like, I don't know. They left. You can feel something went wrong. But Scotland doesn't have that, you know? Scotland doesn't have black people because they further north there were no black people. There's not many black things further north. The further north you go, the whiter things become. You know, it's the people, the Christmas, the bears, everything changes. I'm sure if you went to a Scottish person and said, excuse me, sir, are you racist? He'd be like, I don't know. I never tried. I had so much fun in Scotland. I remember I was in Glasgow for a week. I was driving around in the back of a car, and every single day, I would try and spot black people. It was like a little game that I played by myself.
Every day I'll just be there like black person, black person, black person, black person, black person. Ha! No statue. Black person, black person, black person, black person, black person, black person. Ha! No reflection. Black person, black person, black person, black person. No black people anywhere. None. And that's why I say traveling is important. Because I'd never been to a place where there were no black people before. It actually made me realize that there'd been an issue that I'd been grappling with for so long. And now finally I had another answer. And that issue was that of James Bond. I'm a big fan of 007, License to Kill. Loved it my whole life. Started with Pierce Brosnan, then went back and watched Connerys and Lazenbys and everyone, all the way through to Daniel Craig. And I love James Bond. And when I found out that Daniel Craig no longer wanted to be James Bond, I was heartbroken. Until I heard that at the top of the list, the potential replacement was a man by the name Idris Elba. And I lost my mind. You can hear the ladies, like, yeah, yeah. And that's what James Bond needs. A ladies' man and a man's man, and Idris has that. He's strong, he's charming, he's got that quiet thing, oh yeah, Idris Elba, oh yeah. Idris Elba, oh yeah. You could just see him playing the dapper spy. And as soon as it was announced, everyone was excited until the comment section of the internet came in. Idris Elba, James Bond. And the comment section was like, actually, Idris Elba could not play James Bond. And we're like, why? They're like, because. Because of the shape of his head? What do you say? What do you say? No, because. Because what? Because he's black! James Bond cannot be played by a black man! And as soon as they said that, the internet exploded. Racism! And immediately that happened. I jumped in. I don't even know what it's about half of the time. I just jump in. You just hear racism and I rep my side. I'm just like, racism, racism! Ah, you guys will explain it later. Racism! And I was in there and I was like, what the hell's going on? And they're like, James Bond could not be played by Idris Elba because Idris Elba is a black man and James Bond is white. I was like, well, actually, James Bond is a fictional character and so we can be played by anyone because it is fiction. And they were like, well, when you think about it, James Bond was based on a real man who was white and so he should be played by a real white man. And I was like, well, that just doesn't make sense because if you think about it, Jesus was technically a black man, but he gets played by a white man. So I don't know what your point is, because that's never stopped me from receiving my blessings. I don't know what you're going on about. And they were like, you can't have it. I was like, racism, you can't have it, racism, you can't have it, racism! And then I went to Scotland. I realized that maybe, just maybe, I hadn't given the argument enough thought. Because I love Idris Elba. I want him to play Bond. But if you think about it, James Bond often operates in places like Scotland and the UK and Europe. Because that's where most supervillains choose to reside. I'm assuming it's for tax purposes. No matter how you feel about the issue, you have to admit it would be particularly difficult to be a spy when you are the only black person in town. Your very existence defies your purpose. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying that would be the toughest James Bond movie that was ever made. Can you imagine that scene? Idris Elba, James Bond, planting the C4, blowing up the bad guy's leg, jumping on a bike, riding into the town square in Edinburgh. The bad guy's right behind him. They pull out their guns and start shooting. The chase is on. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Pew! Ding-a-ling-ging, ging-ging-ging, ging-a-ling-ging, ging-ging-ging, ging-a-ling-ging, ging-ging-ging, ging-a-ling-ging, ging-ging-ging, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Idris Elba, James Bond, jumps off the bike, runs into a crowded town square. The bad guys are right behind him. He manages to shake them off, pops into a little alley, gets out on the other side, finds a crowded little marketplace, puts a scarf around his head, a fake beard, blends in with a group of monks walking by. The bad guys turn the corner. There it is! James Bond manages to shake them off, gets into another group of areas, pops out on the other side, finds a transportation hub, gets into a bus, the bus goes one way, gets into a tram, the tram goes the other way, the bad guys turn the corner. There he is! The movie will be 10 minutes long. It would end with James Bond panting in an alley. How did you find me? We would lose so many epic scenes. Like that moment where James reveals his name. You know that scene in the casino we always wait for? Him dressed in the tux, playing a high-stakes game of baccarat. You see Idris Elba walking over to the bartender now to place that iconic order. Bartender, I'll take my martini shaken, not stirred. The name's James Bond? I know. I'm sorry, mate. Have we met? No. I just heard there was a spy in town. Figured it was you. What gave me away? Is it the way I dress? Oh, there's just something about you. Something like what? You know.
Go crazy and welcome to the stage, the wonderful Trevor Noah!
Good evening. Or not. Sorry, I get nervous when I start a comedy set. I find comedies very similar to sex for me. Well, it's exactly like sex when you think about it. You know, just me, the comedian, playing the role of the man, and you, the audience, the role of the woman. Because it's my job to satisfy you. And you just have to sit there. And then just like sex, my success or failure is somehow determined by how much noise you make during my performance. Oh, you're just faking it now, thank you. It's a one-sided affair. So I hope you aren't the quiet types. No, you were great, really. It makes it worse when a guy laughs in the middle of it. It's not meant to be funny. This is my first time in Australia, and I must say I'm enjoying it. After 2 days of traveling to get here, I finally arrived, and it's quite a quaint place. It wasn't supposed to take me that long. We were delayed. First delay was I got to the airport in Johannesburg. I was on a Qantas flight, and they said, sorry, sir, there's a bit of a delay. I said, how long? They said, 24 hours. So that's not a delay, that's cancellation. So that's another day. So they said, come back tomorrow. I came back the next day, and then we tried it again, and this time we were on the plane, and there was another delay of about 4 to 5 hours where we were stuck on the tarmac, and the plane couldn't take off because the airplane wasn't balanced. I've never heard of that in my life. That's what the pilot said, and like because he's a pilot, we believe him. He just said it because the pilot sounds serious when they're saying it. He came on, he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a bit of a problem on the plane. Don't know what's going on. Seems like it's not balanced, but we'll have to check on what's going on, and we'll get back to you as soon as we know." And I won't lie. As soon as he said that, I looked at the fat people. But not in a bad way, not in a bad way, just in an objective manner, like, hey, you guys, you can't sit together. You need to sit one on, yeah, the plane. Probably you, it's probably you. Speaking of fat people, is Biggest Loser the biggest show in Australia? That's all I see on TV, is just The Biggest Loser. I love that show. It's fantastic. It's always on TV. What a fantastic show. For those who don't know, The Biggest Loser is a show where they try and help fat people lose weight through torture, basically. Yes, both emotional and physical. Yeah. They do horrible things like leaving food in the house that they're living in, then ask them why they're eating it. Why did you eat the food, Kevin? Why did you eat the food? Because it was there and he's fat. That's what he does. That's like his specialty. You knew this before he came. Why are you now acting shocked? They should do a show about the people that make the show and call them the biggest assholes. That's what they should say. That show's not helping anybody. I love it. An amazing show. But yeah, so we were flying. So we flew. Flew from Johannesburg to Sydney. Sydney, you come in, and then you have to leave the airport and then go back into the airport to fly. You go through border control. Very friendly. I must say, Australia, I'm very impressed. Very friendly border control. You guys are very chilled out, very cool. Like visas, not really like needed. Sort of, it is, but not like the. Do you have your visa? No. You know. I learned the secret to getting through from a few Chinese men that were ahead of me is that you just have to irritate the border police and then they just let you in. There's a guy ahead of me and the woman was asking him, excuse me, sir, where are you going to be staying in Australia? No, where are you staying? He was like, kangaroo. No, sir, where are you staying? Kangaroo. No, sir, you can't. No, it's not like, where are you going to be staying? Kangaroo. All right, just go in. I just came in. And he was just like, it was fantastic. Yes. And he had this look when he got to the other side, like it works every time. Just, you know, this knowing look about him. And so you come in, and it seems too easy because the border control is very chilled, but then you get like to the customs, which is the most hardcore place in the world. I don't know what the hell happened in Australia, but you guys need to chill out when it comes to fruit. People are standing there being strip shirts. Where did you get the apple? I don't care if you can't speak English. You're going to spend a week in quarantine, mate. Where did you get the apple? I don't care. Where's the apple from? You see people. There was a guy that was stopped for weed. Is that marijuana? Oh, don't do it again. But you with the apple, back to where you came from. What did fruit do to your country? It's such a weird place getting used to Australia because you finally come in and then you can't understand anybody. You really, really can't because like you guys say you speak English, but it's not. It's like you try, but then I couldn't tell. Like sometimes it actually sounds like it's Chinese. I used to hear people making jokes about, there's all these Chinese, but then when you come, you don't know if the Australians are Chinese or not Chinese. Like, because it sounds the same to me, especially like a very deep Australian accent. Very like people say things, oh yeah, how you go, oh yeah, oh, ni hao, oh yeah, ni hao, oh. Oh yeah, shishini, now I don't know what's going on here, man. This is very. And then the phrases I do understand don't make sense, like positive phrases, like apparently she'll be right. I don't know who she is and how she applies to me, but this is very important to say in Australia. You also feel it's very important to tell everybody that you have no worries. Yeah, I didn't ask you about your life's philosophy. I just asked you how you were on the day, and no worries. Really? Not even one worry? Really, Australia? Are things that good here? No, not even one. Not even prostate cancer. Not even one. Not even North Korea, because those guys are close. I'm just saying. Not even one worry. Yeah. And the strangest one, and this is something I've learned, which I wish you'd teach people before they come, is the correct answer to the phrase "How you going?" is not by aeroplane. I feel it's strange to ask people this when they are traveling. I was flying with Sydney, and then we were going to Melbourne, and I got to the counter, and I said to the woman, "Hi, I'm going to Melbourne, please." And she said, "Oh yeah, how you going?" I said, "By aeroplane." That is why I've chosen this building over here to be traveling in. And she said, no, I was greeting you. And I said, oh, no worries. You guys have been great. Thanks for having me. Have a good night.
Forever Noah! Give it up as one.
If there's one thing I miss about Zambia, it's how friendly the people were. Standard. Everywhere you went, people had a smile on their face. People were willing to talk to you. Just had this vibe to them, you know? It's something I feel like we've lost in South Africa. As part of our culture, we used to be a friendly nation. We used to be a people of smilers, a people of talkers, you know? Now we've got that thing, that anger, that distrust when we look at one another. I don't know what happened, but we've just lost it. You know, you see it with the workers in this country. They're so angry. You see how angry they are? All the workers. All of them. They're on strike. You know, we've had over 99 strikes in this country this year alone. 99 strikes, costing us billions. All different sectors. National mine workers, Union of Metal Workers, petrol attendants. Yeah, petrol attendants. They threatened to burn the petrol stations down. We'll burn them to the ground with our petrol bombs. We just need someone to pour petrol for us because we're on strike. Murphy's Law, eh? Everyone was on strike. But there's one strike in particular that got to me. City Power. See that? The illegal strike of City Power that left thousands of households in Johannesburg without electricity. One household in particular got to me. The house of Nelson Mandela. There was no electricity at the house of Nelson Mandela. In the middle of the night, out of nowhere. You know how horrible that must have been? Lights, and the next thing. Nelson Mandela doesn't need electricity for his big screen TV, people. Nelson Mandela needs that electricity because he has machines keeping him alive. That man is critical but stable. I don't know what that means. The government told me. Because it's an oxymoron. Critical but stable. How's Bafana doing? They are losing but winning. I had to try and explain that to my grandmother. Do you know how hard that was? Because my grandmother doesn't get bamboozled easily. Yeah. She asked me, she said, Trevor, how is Mandela doing? But she asked me like I know him. I'm like, oh, he's okay, Gogo. I mean, he's critical but stable. She's like, critical but stable. Critical but stable. What does that mean? Before I can answer, my uncle walks in the room, drunk, as always. Comes straight to us, goes, critical but stable. That's me every weekend. Who is this man? But no electricity at the house of Nelson Mandela, guys. And you know what's sad? Is this is the second time we've let him down. Second time. The first time was with the ambulance. Do you remember this? Yeah. Nelson Mandela got a lung infection. Needed to go to hospital. An ambulance picked him up from his home and then got stuck on the side of the highway for 4 hours. 4 hours. How is that even possible? I have so many questions, so many things I don't understand. For instance, why was Nelson Mandela even in an ambulance? Couldn't we get a helicopter for him? Can't we get a helicopter? He's old, get him a helicopter. Can't we afford it? I mean, his face is on our money. I'm sure we can do something. We can't get him that. We can't get him a helicopter. We can organize for the Guptas to land jets, but we can't get Mandela a helicopter. This is what we're saying. In fact, why not phone the Guptas? Phone them, yeah. Phone them. I'm sure they'd be there in a second. They'd be like, hey, Atil, can you come and fetch this guy? Yeah, I'd be there with his Gupta swag. That's not the airplane, that's the sound he makes when he walks around. And then Jacob Zuma rides on his back. Basta, basta. Huh? This is us, guys. Nelson Mandela. Second question I have. Why was there only one ambulance? No backup ambulance? No support cars? Nothing? Ministers in parliament have 4 to 7 cars with them everywhere they go. They've got a little blue light brigade, causing chaos on the roads. Multiple people have been killed by them, crashing into cars, because they're always in a hurry, always in a hurry, always in a hurry. Why are you in a hurry? And why do you have bodyguards? I don't understand. I mean, some people, yes. President, give him bodyguards. Yeah, fine. Minister of Finance, it's our money. Bodyguards, bodyguards. Yeah. But there's some ministers where we're just wasting money now. Huh? Minister of Agriculture. Why are you even in a hurry? No, you've got the slowest portfolio. Where are you going? Nothing happens in agriculture in a hurry. Nothing. There's no drought starting at 4. Why are you in a hurry? Yeah? And why do you have bodyguards? Who's trying to kill you? The cabbage mafia. Yeah? No, guys. Just sit in the traffic and shut up. Stop wasting our money. Give Nelson Mandela that motorcade. That's what he needs. Stuck for 4 hours, people. You know how terrifying that must have been for the ambulance driver? He knows who's in the back. You wouldn't want Nelson Mandela dying on your watch. He's there panicking hour after hour, nobody coming to help. Finally tried to do something himself. I'm sure he just got up there. He was like, Tata, Tata, Tata. Mandela's there like, Saint Peter, is that you? Just, no, Tata, it's me, it's Piwe. Oh, that's BEE in heaven. Eh? No, Tata, no. We're still here, we're in the ambulance, Tata. The ambulance is stuck. Damn it. So are they sending another one? Hey, that's the thing, Tata, we've been here for hours. Nothing has happened, eh? So I was thinking maybe we should hitchhike. Man, you are killing me, man. Tata, what can we do? Okay. Help me up. They get up. There they are on the side of the highway. Nelson Mandela and Spiwe trying to get a lift from people. Spiwe's on one side panicking. Mandela's on the other side hitchhiking. Nobody's stopping. Spiwe's there. Tata, they're not stopping. They'll never stop for black people. Like, yeah, and those are the black people. Because we don't stop anymore. I wouldn't stop. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't stop. I'd see Nelson Mandela, but I wouldn't stop. No, because for the life of me, I would not begin to believe that the man standing on the side of the road hitchhiking is Nelson Mandela. I'd see him. I'd be driving past. I'd be like, hey, that guy looks like Nelson Mandela. Look, that guy looks exactly like Nelson Mandela. Yo, it looks like him, man. Looks like, but I wouldn't stop. Yeah. Not because of time. I didn't have time. I didn't have time to make a U-turn, in fact. I would make a U-turn. I would go back around. You got to see him. You got to look at him. He's amazing. He looks exactly like Nelson Mandela. You're going to see him there. You're going to see him. We'd drive past there slowly. Look at him. Yo, he looks exactly like Nelson Mandela. And that guy's even got the face, he's got the hair, he's even got the shirt, looks like Nelson Mandela. I wouldn't stop. I'd even go home and fetch family before I stop. I'd be there, Mom, come, get in. Isaac, come. Oh, we're going to get a PlayStation. No PlayStation for you. Shut up. Get in the car. We're going to fetch Nelson Mandela. Bloody hell, we'd be driving around there. I'd be like, everyone, you must look at me. You must go slow down. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to look at it. We'd slow right down, roll down the windows. Hello? I'd be like, please, he even sounds like Nelson Mandela. But I wouldn't stop. Nobody stops. Culture of distrust. Back in the day, people used to hitchhike in South Africa. Yeah. I remember people used to hitchhike from Durban to Johannesburg. They'd be there on the side of the road. Yeah, people picking them up. Now, nobody. Nobody stops for anybody. Even Metro Police, you're like, hey! Nobody stops. I bet even babies couldn't hitch a ride. Be on the side of the road in their diapers then. No one would stop. You'd be like, hey, you don't stop for them. You never, ever stop for them. Yeah, you think it's a baby, hey? You think it's a baby? Yeah, they look like babies. And then you stop, and then like a man pops out, hey? Yeah, happened to my friend Gladys, hey? You don't take chances. We've become a culture of distrusting, angry people. That's who we are. Everyone's angry. Weird angriness as well, in places where it shouldn't be. I was in Checkers the other day. I'm just shopping. It's a normal experience, you know? I get to the cashier, and those people are so angry. Like, I don't know what Checkers does to their employees, but they're clearly not enjoying it. Because I get to the till, she doesn't greet me, she doesn't even look at me. She just pushes a little conveyor belt thing, all my groceries pull up, and they're like, doot, 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 doot. They look at you like your dad invented the barcode. Doot. Doot, 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 doot. Then they look at you and ask you that question like you kill baby panda bears for a living. Plastic. No, bye. Thank you. No, I'll just, no. Thank you. Yeah. They're so angry. And they look angry because they've drawn their eyebrows on. And that permanent scowl. I don't understand that trend in fashion, to be honest with you. Why would you shave your eyebrows off and then draw them back on where they were? It's weird. But look, I also commend it, you know, that level of commitment has to be commended. Because I don't understand how anyone can commit to one expression for the entire day. Like, how do you choose that expression? Do you just work on how you feel in the morning? Is that what you do? You just wake up, be like, I'm feeling angry. Yeah. What if something good happens? Something good. You can't even, you'd be like, yeah, Tembi, you won the lotto. Yeah. You don't look happy. I just can't show it. I'll draw it tomorrow. Why would you? So angry. We become angrier and angrier. Almost more focused on the negative aspects of race. We used to be the rainbow nation. Now the colors are going their separate ways.